All right. So we're now recording. If you want to introduce yourself in case people don't know who you are, you can do
Hey,
that.
it's yeah. Hey, it's Badmouth Morris out of Branch 226 in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm the one of the co-hosts on the CCA corner. And yeah, I'm a rank and file. I just made a regular a couple weeks ago, so I am you know, no longer a male boy, but a male man.
Yeah, congrats on the regular. I didn't know that. I thought you were a PTF.
No, no, no. Yeah, no. I made regular as of a couple weeks ago. I got my own route. It's over by an hour, so I got to fight with management every day.
Of
But you
course.
know what? Spite and fights sustain me. So getting this,
Makes sense.
I get my cup of coffee in the morning and an argument with a dickhead.
Oh man.
It
I
gets me
used to
fired up for
argue.
the rest of my day.
So I do 2 cups of coffee in the morning, really bad for me, I know. But then I would go in and argue with management and like I'd have the jitters while I'm arguing. And I'm like, if I know I'm gonna get into an argument with them, I gotta like have 1 cup in the morning, just tone it
Yeah,
down
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit. So
yeah, yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. You don't want to be in an argument and twitchy because that
Exactly. Exactly. Well, again, congrats on becoming a regular. So even you referred to yourself as a rank and file member. So that was actually my first question. First and foremost, a definition of the rank and file member, right? A rank and file member is an individual who, or rather, the rank and file are the individuals who constitute the body of an organization, society, or nation as distinguished from the leaders, right? So
yeah.
minus the leaders. So when you
Yeah.
refer to yourself as a rank and file member, you're not a leader or anything. You're not a president.
I have no official position.
Yep.
I'm just a knuckle dragger. You know, I gotta wear polyester just like the rest of us, and I'm in the trenches every day. Like I said, I just made regular, so I'm fresh out of being the most under the lowest paid, most abused person in the post office, which
Yep.
is our CCAs. And I don't think it gets more rank and file than a CCA who is not smart enough to find a better job. You know what I mean?
Good pitch.
Let's just be real.
Yep. Yep.
But like, yeah, no, I'm rank and file. I don't have any official position. Um, I the only thing I would quibble with on that is the fact that I think if you got something to say and you are taking care of your fellow coworkers and you are taking care of your fellow people and whatever, you're already a fucking leader, and that's a problem in this in this union is the fact that there's way too much emphasis put on position. You don't need a position to be a real leader, and the rank and file needs leaders. And some of the best leaders I've met in the post office are just rank and file jerks doing shit like this
Yeah.
for the love of the game and
Yeah.
on our own dime and on our own time.
So
But
yeah,
yeah,
you still consider those guys rank and file, even though they're leaders like in the office or whatever, because
oh
they
yeah, yeah,
because they don't have that position. They're not a branch
yeah,
leader, they're not a president, whatever. Uh, so yeah,
exactly.
that's the whole concept of the rank and file. So as a true rank and file, how many years do you have? 2.5?
I started. I think my start date as a CCA was April 1st, Fool's Day, which is appropriate. Um, uh, I think 2023. So I got about 2.5 years in.
Okay.
Yeah, before the post office, I was in the Painters Hall, Painters International, and I spent some time in a laborers union, and I spent some time in the sheet metal workers union. I'm forklift certified.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm new to the post office. I'm not new
Yeah.
to unions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm doing like my own version of survey. So
Okay.
shout out to BFN out there. They're doing a
Oh yeah,
survey.
can we plug that survey? I know John Murphy's
Absolutely.
been putting a shit ton of work on
You
that.
know, I don't
Um,
unfortunately I don't have their website memorized.
oh,
If you got it.
I can put I can text you the link.
Okay.
If we can plug that into the show notes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then
If
but
I
it
can figure
is
it out.
if you go to the website, it's fuck, Build a Fighting NALC
I think it's just fighting
dot
NAS.
com slash survey.
Yeah.
or starting in.
You can look it up. You guys can find them out there. It's
Yeah,
fine. But yeah, shout
yeah.
out
If
to
we can
them.
put the link in the show notes, that would be
I'll do
dope.
my
But yeah.
best. If I can figure out how to do that, I will do that. But I'm doing like, so the minor tweak of their survey is, I believe that the rank and file shouldn't be given a multi-choice, right? You can just go out there and you can ask rank and files like I'm about to do what your priorities are. Like I don't
Yeah.
need, I think there were certain questions missing from BFN survey that I would like to see. And then I think there was an option for at the end if you have any other input. Um,
Yeah.
so I'd like to, just leave it open to the rank and file to tell me exactly what they want in two different parts in the contract negotiations and for the NALC. So those are the first two questions. What are your give me two of your top priorities for the contract negotiations as a true rank and file member?
Yeah, I think my main one is an all career workforce. Um like um the two-tier workforce kneecaps the fucking union. So the DOS award was just such a fucking nightmare for this union. And the fact that we haven't made that a priority is disgusting. So in every union I've ever been a part of, and any union ever, it is a regular thing that happens. You throw the new guys under the bus for big wins for the rest of the membership.
Mhm.
However, we have been repeatedly throwing the new guys under the bus and not getting any wins for the rest of the membership. It's fucking shameful. And with the CCA position, by the way, not career, not nationwide. You got people up in
Yeah,
fucking was it
certain offices. Yep.
Bismarck, where one city, like they're right there. You can you got one city hires directly to PTF and one city hires directly to CCA. So
Yep.
you got, you know, it's fucking shameful. And with the CCA position, not only do it that makes it a third fucking tier.
Oh,
It's not
that
even a two-tier system at this point. It's a third fucking system. And it's just this Jack Welch burn insurance thing where they're like, well, we're just going to keep hiring a bunch of CCAs. They all burn out within the first year. And we're going to get all this work out of them that we're not giving to a career employee. We don't have to pay them the proper benefits. We don't have to pay them a living wage. We don't have to do jack shit for them. And the union doesn't give a fuck because it's not worth it for them to fight. They're too. I get. I am super upset about this shit.
I
Like,
I hear you. All right.
that would be
Roll it. Let's
all
roll it
career
back.
workforce.
Let's
Yeah.
do two top priorities. Make them simple. So
Okay. All career workforce.
all career workforce. All right.
See my rant I just went on.
Yep.
And then the second would be a starting wage of $30 an hour.
Okay.
If you can't if you can't afford groceries and you can't afford rent without your parents' help or without a GoFundMe, this isn't a career job.
Yep. So with the
Um,
$30 an hour, would that I would imagine, I mean, that would have to bump most of the rest of the people on table two up because some of them are making less than that. I think the first couple
yeah,
steps are not less than that.
I got moved to step B with once this last dog shit contract got put into place.
Yeah. You're
So
one of the guys
I'm
that actually helped at the bottom there a little bit,
yeah.
little tiny bit.
Yeah. So I think I'm making about 26 and change right now. I could be wrong. But the $30 an hour. So like my ass is fucking homeless, right? And
Mhm.
that's partly because I spent so much time with forced overtime as a non-career employee making less than $19 an hour with zero sick leave, 5 days, or I mean 40 hours of annual a year that was designed to just be used for your mandatory 5 day break in service between your first and second year. And that's not
Yeah.
it's absolutely fucked. So
Yeah.
all career workforce and $30 an hour starting wage. Like
Right.
there's on that survey, on the BFN survey, there's other stuff, and like people are prioritizing which ones they think are important. Those are my two. because the CCA position creates a third tier to a two-tier wage system. All career, get these people getting fucking sick leave immediately, get these people benefits immediately, get these people $30 an hour
Yep.
immediately.
Yeah. So I'm all there. Like you're talking about the third table, the third pay scale or third tier.
Yep.
That's my priority is just to get rid of all of it and put us all on table one. That
Yep.
accomplishes your $30 an hour. It accomplishes the all career workforce. It does all of that. So that's my one goal. But I will put those into my Excel sheet. So the next one is the give me two quick top priorities. We are going to run out of time because Zoom is stupid. Uh,
Okay. All right,
but
we can fast track it. I won't go on so many
no, it's fine.
rants.
We'll end up pausing it and then I'll restart it. It tells me to upgrade. I already upgraded. Shouldn't be complicated. We'll figure it out.
All right.
So that was two priorities for contract negotiations. Give me two quick priorities for the NALC. So I know part of your rant says, no ulterior motive, stuff like that, but
Well, the two priorities for the NALC, focusing on fucking education, because part of the reasons we're having this problem where people are running their routes and they're allowing management to bully the piss out of them is because our CCAs that the union can't protect in the first 90 days.
mhm.
Our CCAs get that ingrained in them in the first 90 days, and then you have to try and break those shit habits.
Yep.
Education early and often. And like the NARP, I don't know the new acronym for it. Like
NERP,
it's
yeah, new employee retention program.
yeah, oh, I mean that's what it was. Now they have a new acronym
Oh,
for
do
it, a new
they?
name for it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. But I'm just gonna call it the NARP, the NERP. Like that's great, but that is the bare minimum. We can take that as a jumping off point to actually educate and empower our CCAs and our PTFs and the fucking new jacks coming in the door, because it's so hard to teach old dogs new tricks. It's when they first get here that we
Yeah.
need to be empowering, educating, and fucking lifting them up the second they come in. Because otherwise management does that.
Yeah.
And then we got to fucking fight against our own people. How many stewards do you know that one of the main bitches is no one will actually file a grievance? They'll complain to me, but
Yeah.
they won't put in the slip of paper. We
Exactly.
need right away, like 91st day, bitch,
Yep.
let's file this grievance, right? So education and then education and empowerment of the new jacks. That's what my career at the post office is going to like. I've already decided and said this, like I do the CCA corner, but like more than like it's not just that's that's the thing we need in order to lift this union up and get that old boy, old head. It is what it is. It's always been this way. Yada yada yada. Horse shit that we're all fucking sick of. The best way to do that is to get our CCAs and get our new jacks and our PTFs fucking mad the second management looks at them sideways, and not only mad, but know how to fucking fight back
Yeah.
and get in the fight with us immediately. That's how we do it.
I agree. One of my issues with I consider the NERP program like I call it a bait and switch, right? Where they're
No.
taking it easy on these guys just long enough so they have some sunk costs, just long enough so they're like, man, I don't want to go fill out my resume again, look for another job. I'm here. I've been here for 90 days. I'm okay. And then like pull the rug out from under them and treat them like shit. Like that's what the NERP program
Yeah.
is. It's the
And the
NERP
thing is,
program is the NALC helping the post office keep people at a
yep.
lower wage. So I'm
Yeah,
not
and
happy with the NERP
instead of
program.
using
Like just
no,
bump
I was
it.
gonna say also it's also a way for the post instead of using the retention problem as a way to get us all better wages and a good starting wage. Now it's that like it's the band-aid on the compound fracture. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, we're doing the NERP, so we don't need to pay you people more.
exactly.
It's
100%.
horseshit.
Yeah.
And
And
like
the fact that the NALC is bought into that, that's bad. I don't like
yep,
we don't need to pretend like we're going to treat CCAs nice, that pretend that management is going to treat them really nice for the rest of their career.
mhm,
We don't need to do that. It's not going to happen. What we need to do is make that job worthwhile, right? Make the compensation
yep.
worthwhile that they stay anyways. So,
Yeah, and the other thing with that is with a lot of things in the ALC, it depends on your branch how good that program is. You got branches like out in Boston. My buddy Gus, who's an OJI, the man is fucking brilliant, and he takes that shit so seriously. And I
Mhm.
know that any CCA in his area is going to have a great experience with that. But then you have a branch where if the branch doesn't give a fuck about it, it's just it's just the pencil whipping paperwork, and that CCA is no better off than if that program didn't exist.
Yep.
So it's about the problems are implementation too.
True.
So yeah.
All right. Two of each. I like it. I'll put them in the Excel sheet. All right. How do you, let's move on to, you're a true rank and file member.
Yep.
How do you feel? I got a minute. All right, we're back. That's my fault. I'm technologically challenged here. I logged into the wrong Zoom account, so we're back. I was
Same.
asking you, as a true rank and file member, what do you think of these rank and file committees that
Oh,
Brian Renfro has handpicked and filled with presidents or contract enforcers
full-time
or people that
officers
work
and
at
shit.
national?
Yeah, full-time officers and shit.
Yep, yep. True rank
Again,
and file members leading,
yeah.
full-time officers.
Yeah. If Renfro gave a fuck about what the rank and file had to say, he wouldn't have shoved this last contract down our fucking throats.
Yes. If he gave a shit about what the rank and file said, he would do what he's telling us he's going to do in February and just give us a fucking survey. It's not
Yeah,
complicated.
no,
It's not hard
exactly.
to hear. We're here. We're not hard
And
to hear from. Just do it.
also, with all the noise that the BFN survey is making on like social media and shit like that, and people are talking about that and plugging it in podcasts and shit. These nerds listen to these podcasts, even even if you're giving it a hate listen, like whatever, they're listening to some of the shit. Apparently, I've heard rumors that National is gonna start putting out a fucking survey now.
Yeah,
uh,
they said that, but they're saying they're gonna do it in February, in late
Oh
February.
yeah, no, that's smart. Yeah, wait till the
Yeah,
last minute.
yeah.
Yeah, no, super
It's
smart.
great. I love it. The whole
Yeah,
concept of we're having rank and file committees tell the executive council committees, the executive council bargaining committees what their opinions are, so they can both decide what the priorities are before you bother asking the actual rank and file members, right?
yes,
Like that.
yeah. Well, it's theater.
Yes,
It's theater.
exactly. Yes, it's
It's
campaigning.
it's similar to like what we were talking about the NERP. I'm glad it exists. I'm glad it's a thing. I'm glad that there are people out there who are going to use that as a framework to take care of our new employees. Love that. But as a concept, it is a band-aid, and it is lip service that just allows them helps them run cover for not getting us what we actually need. These rank
Exactly.
and file committees, which I don't know everyone on the committee, but I know at least a couple of them are full-time officers that don't carry mail,
Yep.
which to me doesn't sound like rank and file.
Correct.
Just saying. And then the fact that like, what is there an obligation to listen to them?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
If even if and like perfect world, and I'm not saying I don't want to disparage anybody. I know at least one of them on there is a piece of shit, but like I don't want to I don't want to disparage like anyone on that committee. If you're on that committee and you're giving it all, you're all, even if you're not rank and file, but you're there to represent the rank and file. I like to try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt until they prove otherwise. What obligation does Renfro have to listen to you?
Exactly. Yeah. The whole thing to me is a farce, right? The executive
Yeah, it's
council bargaining committees, them listening to a group of branch presidents who pretend to be rank and file members.
mhm.
That's a farce. But then the whole concept, we're going to go into negotiations.
Even if
Brian
it was you,
Renfro,
if it was you and me and a handful of CCAs on that committee, they have no obligation to say what we said in the committee, much less
exactly.
fucking listen to us.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's theater. It's
Yes.
fucking theater.
100%. All right. Good. I'm glad
Sorry.
you had the same thought, because if you listen, if you get the chance and you go to listen to some of these podcasts, first and foremost, obviously Brian Renfro's podcast, Fight Like Hell podcast, his podcast, not the NELC's podcast, his podcast. They talk about
I
how
haven't listened to it yet.
They literally they keep. I mean, I don't know how many times they say, "Oh, we heard from rank and file members," and I'm like, "No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Even at the rap session, that's all presidents and state association presidents. Like that is still
Yeah.
not rank and file members.
Oh,
Obviously,
can I tell you about when he visited the Texas State Convention?
go
Because
ahead.
I got there. I was there as the CCA before I converted. Just because, hey, if you're a CCA, you're listening to this. If you're new, you're listening to this. If you've been here for 1,000 years and you're listening to this, go to those fucking union meetings for Christ's sake, because that's the only way we're gonna fix shit. Is if we go to our goddamn meetings. I know there's nothing for you there. Go there and cause trouble that needs to be caused. Okay. And then you can get to these conventions. I got on the mic and I was able to ask, put Renfro to task about the NERP and my issues with the NERP that we already discussed. Of course, he fucking lied. And of course, he just fucking like deflected the conversation and
Yep.
whatever. But like, the, you're not gonna there's not gonna be a whole lot of information coming out of this person, right? So but it's something where like you got to keep this person honest, and I don't give a shit who gets in next.
Yep.
I love James Henry, fucking love the man. Fucking Mike Harris, fucking dope. I don't know Noble, who's running. Like you like anyone who gets in, you got to keep whoever it is fucking honest by asking hard questions at these sessions, rap sessions or state association or whatever,
Or on your
as a
podcast.
as a rank and file member, if you go to your union meetings, you can go to these fucking things. Like I
100%.
said at the Texas State Association State Convention, I was there as a CCA and I was
Yep.
able to ask him fucking questions.
Yep.
Now, did that question make it onto his podcast or into the postal record? No, because it
I
made him look bad,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's how you keep these people honest. Even the
Mhm.
most dishonest person is going to have less options if there are loudmouth motherfuckers around them to keep them honest.
Yep.
And the most honest motherfuckers are going to be even better with loud ass motherfuckers around them to try and keep them honest, even if they're going to be honest the whole time. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Go to
absolutely.
your fucking meetings. Please go to your meetings.
Yep. um, so not a big fan of the rank and file
Sorry.
committees. Got it.
Yeah. No. It's fucking theater. It's masturbation. It's masturbation for the postal record.
Yes, it's also like campaigning, right?
Yeah.
On Mike Cariff's recent podcast, Sakia, she calls it placating. She's like, it feels like they're just placating us. They are 100% placating you. They're pretending something. Yeah, it's all theater. All right.
Yeah, and I think it's mainly geared towards the retirees because the retirees see all of us rank and file members
Yeah.
angry about our situation. The retirees aren't locked in. They don't unless you're retired and your kid is in, or like you're good friends with somebody who's in on table 2, or even lower step on table 1. Like you're not keyed into this shit. All you know is the shit that's being repeated at your branch meetings if you go to those, and the shit you read in the postal record,
Yeah.
and sometimes see on social media. So this is theater for the retirees.
It's retirees and people not overly plugged in, right? If you see, we formed rank and file committees and you're not committed enough to like go in and read who they are, like that.
Unless you're an angry fucking news pervert like the rest of us who have like my therapist hates how plugged in I am.
Oh geez,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like unless you're one of us masochistic idiots.
Yeah, seriously.
You just want to go in and fucking clock in and go there, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what people want.
That's what
we want that too.
For.
We want that too. We just want to be able to do it. And
I would love to be able
bills,
to be that sort of person.
Exactly.
I would love to have that.
Exactly.
But that's what this theater is for. This theater is so people hear those who are plugged in bitching about this shit, and they're like, I don't know about this Renfro character.
Yeah.
And now to get those people on Renfro's side, he's going to be doing this fucking dog and pony show, which is all that this rank and file committee is.
Exactly.
It's so easy to see through if you are invested And it's so
And you're
easy to
cynical.
just swallow if you're not invested.
Exactly. And if you have a touch of cynicism in you, like I think that a lot of people need to be more cynical about this stuff. Just don't judge the book by its cover. Don't look a little bit deeper and realize they're just talking shit.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
on to the next. So I believe, are you a self-labeled anarchist?
I think that is for. I'm a dirty leftist.
Okay.
I think anarchism is probably is the label that it's a shorthand, right? Like
Anarchist,
anarcho
yeah.
anarcho syndicalist is probably the closest thing. A little bit of anarcho communism. If you're a dirty ass leftist, you know these terms. If you're not, this is kind of the rundown on it. So anarchy doesn't equal chaos. It just says that the people should be taking care of themselves. Neighbors should be taking care of neighbors. The idea isn't to burn down the state. The idea is to build communities and invest in your communities and take care of your neighbors so they can take care of you. So we make the state obsolete. We don't need, no one's coming to save us.
Yeah.
No one's coming to save us. They all say they are. And how true has that been in any of our lifetime? So, but like there's a whole lot of like, fuck, dude. Like there's an anarchist shot William McKinley, president. Yeah, I think he was one way back in the early 20th century. Wait, was that the 19th century? I can't
You're on your
remember.
own here.
Anarchy,
I'm not a history buff. You got you.
yeah. An anarchist killed a president.
Mhm.
And after that, it was just a huge campaign. Like they were kicking out if you were Eastern European and you had any ties to anarchism, they were like kicking you out of the country. Like it was
Interesting.
wild. And then like the anarchists in like the history of the left, the anarchists are kind of the bad news bears, like the Russian Revolution, anarchists and communists working together to overthrow the royal family. And then as soon as the revolution was over, the communists were like, "Well, we can't have these fucking troublemakers," and they gulagged all of us. You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
so it's kind of it's a dirt. I'll
So
tell you where I like. There's two different ways people approach politics. If you're a leftist, you approach them as a principle thing. This is my identity. This is what I believe in principle. And then the other way to approach it is this is how I'm going to move through the world. This is my practice, right? And I feel like being able to do both is really important. And for me, taking care of my neighbor has always trumped everything else. Being able to make sure my neighbor is okay. If I can't take care of myself, if my own world is burning down, I can't get any movement in my branch. I can't do whatever over here. I can't do this over here. Nothing's working. But I can go and I got bread. If I got bread, you got bread. I can help feed my neighbor if they're hungry.
yeah.
And that's kind of the basics of it.
I mean,
I
that's
don't know
kind
if
of
I'm
like
making any sense.
that's the basis of being a mailman, right? I mean, we're in the community
Yeah,
every day. We most of the
we
time we
are the
live in that
community.
community. So
Yeah,
I literally deliver to my own house. So
yeah.
my neighbors, they're my customers. Like
Hmm.
not only do I help them on my own time, but like they'll stop me when I'm working and be like, "Hey, after work, can you come do this for me?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, anytime."
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like it's
If you've ever helped, if you've ever helped, if your neighbor gets caught in a ditch after a big snowstorm and you ever pulled them out as opposed to calling the city to drag them out, you're microdosing anarchism
yeah.
because you're taking care of your neighbors because we don't need to involve the state in this. I'm
Never
helping.
never done that, but like I'll snowblow for them. So same idea,
There you
right? Yeah.
go.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a
Yeah,
truck to pull them out. They're not driving anyways. It is what it is.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
I shovel their sidewalks, I snowblow their driveways, all stuff like that.
yeah,
I just
and
got done
like
raking their
anarch.
leaves the other day. And that's
Oh
like
yeah,
that's multiple neighbors. I don't know how. I ended up so we bought my wife's grandfather's house when they passed away. We bought it. So I don't know if they're all of the same like similar age, but they're all
Mm,
that age. So like every single neighbor's like that. I'm like, okay.
yeah,
There's I love to help you all. there is only so much time that I have, but that's the
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
sense of community. I think that's part of being a mailman. Like, that's just a sense of
Oh
community
yeah.
you have.
No, exactly.
So I'm an
No, and
anarchist. Okay.
that's yeah, well, yeah. You're doing anarchist shit, even if you're not identifying
Interesting.
as
So I
one,
guess I need to
right?
look up the definition and a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit more
and
history
if
on
you look
anarchists.
up like I mentioned anarcho-syndicalism, and that is basically like the way we better our world is we use we use the union and labor groups by bettering working conditions, because we're all workers, bettering working conditions, and sort of like use our unions as the power platform to change our society for the better. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's different brands of anarchism where, like, I'm sure like
Yeah,
anyone
it's a tool.
listening to this who's an anarchist, they're going to disagree, but that's the thing. Anarchists, none of us get along with each other either. Like,
See, I was
we do,
prepared.
but we argue all the time.
I was prepared to argue with you. I was going to be very presumptuous. If you said you were an anarchist, I was going to be like, I don't think you are. And I was going to try and convince you that, like, all you are is someone who knows that the system doesn't work, hasn't had
Oh
a
yeah,
system work. As a working class member, the system doesn't work for you. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're not an anarchist. You're just a member of the working class who hasn't found a system that's working for them yet.
And that is why anarcho-syndicalism rules, because it is all about fucking, like, if we're gonna have a revolution, it's going to be through labor unions and the working class,
yeah.
and us taking care of our communities and taking care of each other. And like, again, it's something. I'm down here in fucking Texas, man. Like, my best friends that I organize with down here on a local level, they're communists, democratic socialists, there's libertarians peppered in there, there's the liberals, and there's a couple fucking Republicans in there too. It's because if you are left of far right in Texas, you gotta get along,
Yeah.
because we're all in this shit together. Like, we don't have the luxury down here of this purity politics shit, right? Like, you didn't read the same bread book I read. You didn't read the same theory I read, so I'm not going to fuck with you. No, we don't have that. It's like, I want to I want to make sure there's the homeless guy on the corner has a sandwich, because it's fucking Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, like, as long as we can agree that that guy should have shelter and something to eat, and we're gonna work to make sure that guy's okay. Like, I don't give a fuck what your actual what theory books you read. I
Yes.
don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah,
Um,
I think a lot of politics are like that. We subscribe to all these labels, and then we don't actually have the conversations that we should be having. I think
yeah,
deep down, most human beings are like these. The priorities should be are the community, stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
we would probably most of those groups would agree on a lot of different things. We just don't have those conversations because labels deter a lot of things. But
exactly.
we could go politics. We'll have to do that some other time.
Yeah. Well,
We'll
yeah.
do that all day.
Just a real quick TLDR.
Hmm.
I identify as an anarchist because that anarcho-syndicalist, that is the easiest shorthand for how I operate and move through the world and how I believe things. But it can be summed up, if I got bread, you got bread.
Okay.
If you're hungry and I got extra bread, you're not going to be hungry anymore. And
Yeah.
that's where it lands.
All right. Uh,
Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. So the part of the platform for this podcast is like democratizing the NALC, making it more democratic, little d. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know if I'm being an idiot. That's fine if I am, because I'm okay with it. I said, that this podcast is called the Table Two Ticket. The idea is to form a
Yep.
ticket. In the last podcast, people were asking me, "Are you running? Are you running?" Stuff like that, and I was like, "Well, I mean, I plan to. Yes, that's the whole concept of this podcast. But I also find a conflict of interest when you form a ticket and you subscribe everyone to a specific position. We've seen that with the
Yeah.
executive council, right? They're on his ticket.
Yep.
They have a pervasive incentive to protect him, right?
Yeah.
It's having a ticket is going to cause that kind of conflict of interest because you're all running on. You kind of owe your job to the leadership of that ticket. So I didn't want to
Yeah.
form a ticket in the usual sense. So I was like, we'll just have a ticket of a list of names, and then before the next national convention, we'll poll the rank and file or the listeners, and we'll see what they want as far as who they want to run.
Mhm.
It's a weird concept of democracy, a weird experiment that would happen. But what do you any thoughts on the idea? I think obviously it would be easier just to be like, hey, I'm
I
gonna run
mean,
for president, and then I'm gonna
I
fix shit.
yeah, I think you're on to something there. Because like yeah, no, that's the thing. There's like we had what was it next gen carriers had on Mac
Mm-hmm.
the other day on their podcast, and like I was, I had very low expectations going into it, but then I heard some of the shit he was saying, and I was like, fuck. Okay, so not everyone at National was like Renfro. You know what I mean? Like because that's the assumption when the dickhead is the only lets people see him. You just assume everyone at National is the dickhead,
Yeah.
and like
I may have to release this as a separate episode because on the podcast this was going to be part of, I kind of
yeah.
go after Mac quite a bit.
I mean, like I mean, we can have that conversation,
Yeah. I
right?
mean,
Like, I'm not caping for Mac, and
yeah.
like, I'm not,
See,
I'd be curious to know what your issues are with Mac. I was
so
just like, I didn't know anything about him going into that,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
just assumed he
I
was.
thought he I thought he sounded just like Renfro.
Oh
Yeah.
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 See,
Uh
okay, all right,
so
okay,
I mean if you
all
want to
right.
get into it, we can go into it. I'd have to pull up a different document because that's got all my shit.
I mean, like we can pause that for later because I do have some thoughts on that, and like
Sure.
I would love to have that conversation.
He said a lot of the right things, but if same as
Yeah,
Renfro, if you drill down, like he's saying the right thing, but it's got a
yes.
twist to it.
But here's where I would push back on. Renfro is not a street cat. Renfro is not an organist. Renfro is a bureaucrat. Mac, I was very surprised to learn he comes from a huge militant union background,
Hmm.
and like he's done protests before.
Hmm.
He's he's been pushing back and swimming upstream. I was not expecting it at all. Uh, but like he's got a different set of personal tools and experience that Renfro has.
Yeah,
He had to me,
I could
he's
see that.
does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because to
I
me,
could see
it goes
him.
a long way. It goes a long way if someone's actually been in the fucking streets protesting and been in the streets demonstrating and been in the street. Like I say it all the time. I would rather deal with a dude who knows what tear gas tastes like
Mhm.
um, at a protest than somebody who wears a fucking nitrile glove on their smoking hand because they don't want to smell like cigarettes, which is something Renfro does. Bro, if you're gonna smoke cigarettes, just smell like cigarettes. Fuck.
Yep.
But
Okay.
anyways, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to
So
me,
your take on it
he
was
had
more
more
his.
weight.
Your take
Yeah,
was
he had
more how
more
he
weight
pres.
behind it because
Yeah.
of his experience and his actual like the way he comes to those conclusions comes from a background of actual street level organizing.
Yeah.
Whereas Renfro is a staffer and a bureaucrat who is trying to get those chops doing this fight like hell shit, not ever having been in the streets at a protest or a picket line. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's where the difference is for me. And
Okay.
like we can disagree on like,
Yeah.
but like for
It's
me that goes a long way. If you've
yeah.
actually been in the streets and actually been doing this shit, like I have a lot more patience and give you a lot more leeway than someone who's just soft hands, been in an office, wears a
True.
fucking nitrile
True.
glove on their cigarette holding hand. Like fuck,
So
dude,
yeah, I
get the
mean,
extender like Cruella Deville, you little fucker. Um, sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, it might just be, the questions weren't finished. He was talking, so one of the first things that he was talking about was uh, calling the Constitution. So he is the chair of the Committee of Laws.
Yeah.
Should be an expert on the laws and whatnot, Constitution. So he refers to the Constitution as a playbook. tells you every
Mhm.
single step, basically. It tells you everything, what the union is supposed to do at every step. That's the Constitution. It tells it lays it all out. And so
Yep.
he's talking about that, but then he talks about the charges that were filed. I don't know if he's specifically talking about the ones against Brian Renfro or the ones against the executive council, but he's talking about the
Yeah.
charges in general. And while talking about the Constitution as a playbook, he's like, we were kind of struggling, like, what do we do next? Oh, well, let's look at the playbook. We appointed an investigator. Okay. And then they like just move on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, you, as a chair of the committee of laws, you're telling us that there's a playbook. That playbook says when there's charges, you appoint an investigator. Yet we're all aware that there was a bunch of charges filed against the executive council where they decided that
Mhm.
those charges just didn't hold merit.
Yeah.
Why didn't you like that? It was a great opportunity that I think the next generation carriers missed.
Yeah.
Asking was to follow up. Okay, you're saying this, so why didn't you follow the playbook?
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I know this has come up before. This comes up, I've had it's bothered me a little bit, and not bothered me, but it's definitely been questions that need to keep being brought up, and we need to keep pushing people in these positions on.
Hmm.
I think there was a lot going on in those interviews, and I know I don't want to say the agenda, but I know the thing that was on the front of the next gen guy's mind. They're talking about trying to put a rally together in February,
Yeah,
and they're also worried about
exactly.
this. They're
As
also
an inter,
they're also getting the
yeah,
survey together. So like,
yep. As an
and also
interviewer,
these guys are just like you and me.
yeah.
They're knuckle dragging grunts with no actual position.
It
I mean,
in the middle,
Capone's a president, but the
yeah,
rest of them they're just like us. We're doing it for the love of the game.
yeah.
So
So as
like,
an interviewer, I completely agree. Like he's already on to the next question because he's trying to keep the flow going. Like
yeah,
the follow-up question, like it's hard to be doing the interview and
yes,
and
and
responding in
be
your
able
head
to
to the
bob and
answer.
weave. Also
100%.
with someone. Also, I know because I talk to those cats. I talk to them all the time. Like
Yeah.
and like fucking John Murphy and I, we argue and disagree, and sometimes we just won't talk to each other for a couple weeks. But then we normally we'll be real nasty sometimes. But then we all, because we're both on the same side,
Correct.
even though we disagree real hard. And but then we end up working with each other right away again.
Yeah.
And I talked to them about that, and I think they had kind of the same reaction that I had, where I think, and I can't speak for them, but we all had the same sort of reaction where we were not expecting to be talking to someone from national who actually had the street level organizing pedigree that Mac had. And I think that was super refreshing for all of us who do that type of stuff,
Yeah.
that there's actually somebody. So I think there was a little bit of the like, okay, we're kind of caught off guard by an actual organizer being at national, right?
Hmm.
And then also the fact that like they're trying to get there's a bunch of people bitching about their interview with
Renfro.
Renfro,
Yeah.
and like, what do you want? You want to just ask a question and be like, hey, so what about this and this, you dumb bitch? Like, are they supposed to call him a dumb bitch after every question?
If
Like
it's
Murphy,
deserved,
yes, it is deserved, but that's not how you do an interview.
correct.
And like, and see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Like, a Murphy started it off with a Eugene Debs quote talking shit on business unionship. And then before Renfro tried to say something and Murphy cut him off to say, I said I'd never have this guy on my podcast again, but it's important that we get some shit done. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
they weren't, they weren't, and Contemporary was pressing him the whole time about trying to get him to commit to a date.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing: when you interview a fucking known liar that you can't trust, you aren't trying to get him to answer a question honestly. That is kindergarten bullshit. That is kid shit. That's Mickey Mouse Club nonsense. What you're asking hard questions, and you're giving him enough rope to hang himself with by getting him to either commit to something, or in his non answers and his non committal, get him to tell on himself for that. And That's the thing.
But
When you're
we've
talking
seen
to a
the pro.
liar, you listen to what he's not saying, not what
Yes.
he's saying. You
The
know what I mean?
problem is that hasn't happened, right? He's hunting like he's giving you all the rope in the world.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no repercussions. So my personal
Yep.
opinion, don't have him on. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
we don't need to hear from him. We know who he is.
Well, see
We don't
that
need to
that, that
expand his platform. If you want to get stuff done, I get that. But you know, do it on your own.
I think that was also the thing that the next gen was trying to do with that people were missing was that was intentionally to try to get him on board with those rallies,
Exactly, which I
right?
mentioned, like I talked about it in my last podcast. He's just gonna hijack it, man. Don't
Yeah.
have him as part of we need rallies that are not involving Brian Renfro.
Yeah, but
It's
see, like down here in Texas, there is no way we're too spread out. There is
no,
no way we can get the difference between him hijacking it, and this was the idea was to try to push him like, hey, can you hijack this shit so we can get this happening? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because the difference between Renfro jumping on board with this, I'm just going to be honest with you. Down here in Dallas Fort Worth, the difference between myself and people in Dallas and Arlington and Waco getting together and throwing a rally where National doesn't co-opt it and them co-opting it, the difference is like 200 people.
yeah.
You know
But
what I mean? Like,
what are you going to benefit if so you're down there, you're trying to have a contract rally. How are you going to benefit when instead of having a contract rally, you have a rally to save the post office?
well, see, that's
See?
see how you benefit is you keep the post office up in people's mind, and also if you're one of the loud ones there, and you get a chance to talk to the press, or you're also it's the same where I was talking about like go to your branch meetings. You also need to be going to your AFL-CIO
Mhm.
Central Labor Council meetings because that's how you coordinate with the Teamsters. That's how you coordinate with all these other unions who will back your play on that shit. And they also have memberships. Like they have a giant membership that their delegate who's there and talks to you about these issues and sees what the letter carrier is actually going through, they can bring that to their entire membership who might not give a fuck because they all think that the letter carrier is a great fucking job and we're all fucking like we all got a boat, a wife, 2.5 kids, and a
But
fucking like summer home.
yeah.
Now they're like, oh fuck, they don't even got air conditioning in those vehicles. Bitch, we hardly got oil in these vehicles. Like, you know what I mean?
True.
Like that's the idea. It's visibility and it's
Yeah.
getting
But the
it's
visit,
it's
yeah,
it's
in my
talking to
opinion,
the public in a way that National refuses to.
yes. But you know who's going to be talking to the media is going to be the president, who's following the same playbook, which is, of course, save the post office. You're going to hold a rally that says save the post office from privatization. At no point is it going to be about our contract or our wages. So, and the people
See,
that talk
that's
to the
where
media,
that's where you can hijack that shit.
yeah, it's already been hijacked by him. You can't hijack it back.
Hey, the only reason any of you know who I am is me as a shithead CCA going and talking to More Perfect Union. Like I got on that video just talking about fucking being a CCA. Like we need to normalize talking to the press and shit like that. And if
Absolutely.
you're at one of these rallies, you got the press right there. Who would they who would most of these branch presidents have the personality of a fucking thumb. So like would they rather talk to that guy or your loud charming ass over here saying we deserve better wages with a public we are a service, not a business. Would they rather talk to you being a fucking muppet in the cartoon and being fucking over the top and saying all the things that get clicks and get fucking viewership, or
Mhm.
would they rather talk to this guy over here who was just grandfathered in because he kissed the last president's ass before he
Gotcha.
showed up?
So what
You
you're
know what I
saying
mean?
is allow Renfro to form these rallies and then try and hijack it.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
hijacked. I mean,
All
fuck, if he's co-opting this shit, fucking use that. Use
right.
it.
See,
That
I'm of the
it's
opinion.
gasoline.
I'm of the opinion that when you I think Brian Renfro's corrupt. Period.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. No, no.
if you allow him,
That bearded turnip is a corrupt motherfucker.
when you bring him in and you ask for his help on rallies and you're tying yourself to him in a degree, and corruption spreads like
Oh,
that, right? Now that rally is now corrupt. When you show some kind of support, when you rally behind a corrupt wannabe politician, uh, that entire rally is now corrupt. But I can see how you could possibly use it, and so
yeah.
you know,
See. For me, we don't have the tools or resources or reach, and
well, that's
this
the whole
comes back to
concept,
what I was
right?
talking about earlier. Was like purity politics and stuff like that. It's like we don't have the tools, resources, and reach, so we let them bring their tools, resources, and reach, and the cameras, and the media, and all that other shit, and then we make a better case louder over here, and we it's hopping in the truck that someone left running. You
Okay,
know what I mean?
yeah,
I
don't
don't know
do
if
that.
that makes sense.
Yes, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. It's I'm just worried that allowing him to hijack these rallies before we hijack them back, it's gonna go poorly. It's going
I
to. He
mean,
keeps talking about the single issue. He brings it up all the time. The single issue. His single issue is saving the post office, helping the post office.
yeah.
If we
Oh
have
no, I know
rallies
it's
to
gross as
save and
shit.
help the post office, it's going to take away from the fact that we're actually having rallies because we need better wages, and
Oh yeah.
it's going to get lost. And so you're talking about all the tools and all the resources that he has. I think with all those tools and resources, he can be louder than us. Just period.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. And he's gonna try to be, but he's also. Have you listened to the dude?
Yes.
Like we can.
He's
I,
good. He's good at manipulating.
yeah, 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 yeah. But like all of these
He's
things, they're looking for a soundbite, and I
yeah.
think we got a lot more people who can give a lot better sound bites in
All
a
right.
shorter period of time.
All right.
Because I don't know. I see I get where you're coming from, and it is. I'm not saying it's not a concern. That's definitely a concern, but I don't think anyone involved in trying to do these rallies and trying to get him on board with these rallies, I feel like all of those people, they're above reproach. It's not like, hey, I'll kiss your ass if you come over here and do this shit. It's like, oh bitch, if you want to be about business, come over here and do some business. You know what I mean? It's people drawing a line in the sand
Mhm.
and saying, hey, if you want to prove that you're about the letter carrier, come over on this side.
Yeah. See,
That's not to say
I'd
when he
rather do
comes
that.
over, if he comes over, that's not to say we're gonna forget all this other shit. No,
Yeah.
that means that like, okay, we'll give you a cookie for this one time.
Mhm.
You're still gonna go down in history as one of the biggest pieces of shit that's happened to this union.
Well, that's the
You know what I
problem,
mean?
right? If if you allow him to join your rally, right, he's going to get this level of credibility. It's more likely that he will be elected if you allow him to participate in your rallies. If if you allow him to sign on and take these photo ops and all that shit, every time you allow him to reach your audience, you're
Mhm.
increasing the odds that he's going to be the next president.
Yeah.
That's the long-term fear, and that's the long-term issue.
Okay.
I'd
I
rather
get. I get.
I'd
I get
rather
that.
not
I
have
get that concern.
I'd rather not have a single rally and have another shitty contract and have him go down and not be the next president than have all the rallies in the world, get a 6% increase and have him as the next president.
Oh, see, that's. I think that's where I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Like,
Because
I
sooner or
don't
later,
see.
the
I
long
don't
term, sooner
see.
or later, he's bad for the NALC.
I mean, he's already been bad for the
Yes.
NLC. He needs to go. He needs to go.
Yeah.
But like, I don't see him. Uh, it's dicey. But I would rather put my money on us getting a better contract and risk him having a halfway decent campaign. I don't think he's going to stay in there. I don't think he's going to stay in there.
100%. There's absolutely no way he leaves.
So we might as like okay. So he's not gonna give up the ghost. He's not gonna throw the towel in.
Correct.
But like I don't see him getting reelected.
I do. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I mean, like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying there's 0% chance. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, like, God, no, it's dicey. It's dicey. But this
It's
is
the
the,
same.
the
It's the same
thing
we
when
see
you're
in every
doing this.
local
It's a
branch.
gamble.
Yeah. And I'd
It,
rather, so you're talking about the drawing the line in the sand. I'd rather do that now and say, yeah, we're drawing the line. We don't want you in our rallies. We don't want any of your resources. We don't want any of that. Like, we'll do
no,
it on our own. We'll do a rank and file rally. The resources are there. It doesn't take all that much, but
I
you know,
just, I think a lot of the people putting on these rallies, though, are more experienced, more capable, and already know how to outmaneuver him. How many iterations of an NALC podcast have happened since Corey Walton started his podcast? You know what I
a
mean?
bunch.
Corey Walton didn't have like he's still doing the same thing he was doing when he was just like he was in that little bitty apartment or whatever. If you listen to those first episodes where you can you can almost hear his neighbor flush a toilet,
Oh,
like you know what
geez.
I mean? But
That might
like
happen here. But you've been warned.
yeah. I'm staying at an extended stay hotel. I'm surprised there hasn't been a fight outside yet. That's okay. They make up about 2 a.m., but they'll
Oh,
scream
nice. Very
until
nice.
that. They were up late last night
But
screaming,
yes,
so
lots of
like that's probably
iterations of
what they're
podcasts,
probably
lots of
still sleeping right now. But yeah, no. How many iterations of the
yeah.
national
I think
podcast
they're
have
all
come
the
out?
same. They're all the same audience though. I think there's
Yeah,
like
yeah, they're all the
2,000,
same audience.
3,000 people that listen to the groups.
Yes, and they keep restarting it because they can't get the pull of the people like you and like fucking Walton and like fucking Richie Ray and Gigax and Troom and fucking the Next Gen boys and fucking like and me and all that other stuff because there's no soul to it. It's
Yep.
just fucking boring ass masturbation propaganda.
Hmm.
So why? So that's why I'm saying like, hey, come over here. Come over
Yeah.
here. That's a shiny toolbox you got
Yeah.
with a bunch of brand new fucking tools. Hey, why don't we work on this car together? Who's going to be driving that car once that car's put together? You know what
I
I mean?
hope. Yeah. I hope
Does
so.
that make
I hope.
sense? It is a gamble. I'm not disagreeing with you on it not being a gamble, but I have faith in the fact that the only people who are going to buy him coming over here and being rank and file are going to be the ones that we're going to buy it anyway. No one on this side of that line in the sand is going to want him, is going to vote for him.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's hope. Let's hope. I'm a bit more cynical. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
want to.
like, I got, yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, can we take a break for like 30 seconds?
Absolutely. All right.
Okay. I gotta piss like a
Not
racehorse.
a
Give me
problem.
just a second.
Pausing. All right, we're back.
Okay, sorry. I'll try to keep my answers more concise. I'm not
Not a
used to being
problem.
interviewed.
That's my own fault as an interviewer. I'm not holding you to task. So if we get
Oh
off
yeah.
topic. I
Good
get off
luck.
topic. It's my own fault. It is what it is.
Yeah,
All right. Next question. Let's hop into so per my last podcast, I called out table one.
yeah.
I was a bit harsh. That's fine. Does table one need to take some accountability for allowing table two to exist?
Oh, dude, that's fucking hard. I feel like when it comes down to that, it's like, yeah, they're benefiting from the DOS award. They're benefiting from the NALC repeatedly throwing CCAs or what was it? What was the position before that? The TEs.
Tease.
Yeah. Repeatedly throwing table two under the bus. They're benefiting from that, but they're not. I don't think unless they're in an official position, they're not making the decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be dope if they were more outspoken to stick up for table two, but to put the responsibility on them, I don't know, man. It's
It's So it's kind of
It's
the same response that John Murphy has, right? He blames leadership. He doesn't blame
yeah,
the rank and file table
yeah.
two. But that's like
Well,
this whole concept. What we're doing is it's our responsibility to fix the NALC. That's what we're
yeah,
doing. So how come
yep.
table one didn't do that?
But here's the thing. And I think this is where I come down on. So leadership, you can definitively say, has failed the
Yes.
membership because they allowed the DOS award not only to go through, but to stand and then not reverse that horrible kneecapping
Yeah.
fucking nonsense.
Not only not reverse it, they passed the next
Yep.
or they passed the next two contracts.
Yep.
That kept it. Yes.
Yep. So you can definitively blame leadership for that. When it comes to it's almost like a
Can I pause you
so
there for
like
a second?
yep.
So you blame leadership for them passing the contracts? They voted on those contracts. Table
Mhm.
two, table one was the majority. Those contracts got passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that has, I mean, that
So
doesn't have to do with labor or leadership. Those every that has to do with the people that voted for those contracts.
but when you're okay, so let's real quick.
Okay.
So now we have table two is the bulk of the membership, right?
The bulk of
Did
the
that
active
just
membership.
happen? A bulk of the active membership. Did that
Yes.
just happen, or has that been a thing for a couple of years?
It's probably I don't know. I don't have the numbers on that. I'd
See
say
that would be where I would ask because if we're gonna put
probably the last 2 years. The problem, yeah, go ahead.
what I'm saying is like okay, so like without getting national politics political, we just had an election where you had to vote between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, and the bulk of the country didn't like either fucking one of them. And we got Trump, right? Cool. So should we blame all the people that didn't like him? Also, because he won? That's kind of where I come down on blaming. I don't want. I can put the blame on the leadership, not necessarily the voter. I feel like it's a problem with the leadership, not the voter.
Mhm.
Yeah, those contracts passed, but how? I mean, brother, you know that apathy is fucking death, and if the membership doesn't feel like any difference is going to be made by their vote, they just won't vote.
Mhm.
Like that is something as organizers we're constantly fucking having to fight.
Yeah.
Like I'm having to fight it. Like for me, sometimes just getting out of
Oh,
bed to deal with that shit is
100%.
hard.
Absolutely.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
So
the
why
average person who just wants to clock in and go home, they might just not fucking vote because what's it gonna matter? And that's the attitude that I think is the big result of the DOS award and this just constant revolving door of lick spittle, chinless dorks that keep coming into our leadership who just they won't fight for the working class. They're just doing their own thing and they're getting along to get along and getting us 1.3% and
Mhm.
they calling that a big win. Like we keep having this shit and it is the apathy in this union is so hard to combat.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I don't want to like the Demo again to bring it back to national politics. What happened when Trump won? The Democrats immediately blamed the voters instead of taking responsibility
Yeah.
for their own because
Yeah.
they
Still not doing it, but that's
no,
fine.
exactly. They're going to be they're going to be and like I voted Democrat, but like
Yeah.
they they snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory because they weren't doing anything that got people out to the polls,
Yeah.
and they're going to blame the voter. I'm not going to blame Table One for voting for how they voted when there wasn't a better option, right? You know what I mean? It's to me, it's a leadership problem.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
here's the other thing: the leaders they have a office with responsibility. We can hold them to account for that. I walked into my office as a CCA, And I had the bulk of people, if you're a CCA, they don't give you the time of fucking day, or they're a dickhead. But then you might have 4 or 5 people in a bigger office who are looking out for you. I
Mhm.
had an old timer who fucking hated me when I first got there because he thought I was some cocky fucking kid. Spoiler alert, I was a cocky fucking 40-year-old. But like, so like now him and I, we get along great. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like like it was this thing where like I'm not gonna blame retirees. I'm not gonna blame the membership is the membership. Leaders we can hold responsible because it's their job to get us a better life. The rank and file, it is not their job to get us a better life. It's their job to live a good life and hopefully join us in this fight to get them a better life. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. You and me, we have this responsibility. And like, if someone's in an organizing space, I hold them to account because, but I'm not, everyone
So
has the right to just show up to work,
right. You
clock
said
out, and go
what
home.
you said. I don't see those two things as different, right? You talk about the rank and file has the responsibility to hold leadership accountable, right? That's the same as holding the contract, like um enforcing the contract essentially. Holding
Yeah.
them accountable, they didn't do that either, right? Rolando
Yeah.
got those contracts and they were just like,
Yeah.
yeah, Rolando's good. We'll keep him. So
Oh,
they
that
never held him
I
accountable for those actions.
see. I would disagree. I know a couple retirees who fucking don't like Rolando,
Yeah.
and like they're not mad at Rolando for the same reasons
But that
I was
generation,
mad at
that table
Rolando.
one kept him in power. They did not hold him
Yeah.
accountable for 3 bad contracts in a row.
So in 10 years, when the new whatever new version of the CCA they come up with comes
Yeah.
in,
They're going
are
to
you and
be,
I? Should they hold you and me accountable
no, we're
for
doing something right
Renfro?
now.
Yeah, I know, but
They
like
didn't.
this is all okay.
No
Okay,
one, do you remember any table one podcast from 2013?
I didn't know
Do you
podcasts
know any
existed in
2016
2013.
podcasts where they're like, hey, the DOS award was bullshit?
I didn't know about podcasts in
They didn't
2016.
exist. They don't exist, right? There are no table
You know
one
what I mean?
podcasts that are like, yeah, they fuck. The only one ever talking out about it is David Noble. There's one
Yeah.
fucking guy. That's it.
So I guess my and this might just be my naive take, because again, I've only been here 2.5 years, but like I don't want to be held responsible for Renfro because I was here and I was able to vote on the TA and vote on his. Oh, I mean, like
Yeah, but you
I
see
came
that.
in after he was elected, but
Yeah,
like you know what I mean?
that's the
Like
whole concept, though, right? I'm asking for receipts on people who did what we're doing right now, right?
yeah, yeah,
You're going against. You're speaking out against Brian Renfro. That's your
yeah,
receipt. So
yeah,
no new next generation of CCA is going to blame you because this is evidence that you tried to fix it. You
yeah,
can't find that or get that from any table one carriers. This doesn't
yeah.
exist. There's no
Okay,
evidence,
all right. I mean, like so.
right? Show me the evidence of James Henry going out and saying the DOS award is garbage. Where's his anything,
I mean, I think yeah.
right?
So yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I also think that like I mean, I think James Henry's receipts on going against Renfro speak for themselves with him being stripped of his responsibilities and all that
That's
shit.
like
And like
two
that's a
years,
whole
two
nother
years of
conversation.
evidence.
Yeah, yeah. But they're like, but like, but like again, we're going back to like the I don't keep receipts for all the shit talking I do. Does that make sense? If I wasn't on a podcast, if I wasn't on a podcast, the only evidence of the shit talking I would do is some of my drunk ramblings on fucking Facebook
I'll
or
accept it.
some fucking
I'll
graffiti I
accept
spray
it.
painted on my own truck or some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like
I'll
that's
accept that as a receipt, right?
but
If you,
okay, all right.
I will accept any table one carrier coming on here and being like, yeah, here's me from 2013 standing up at my local branch yelling at my president. Anything. I don't give a shit. Go on Facebook and be like, in 2013, show me your Facebook post that says this dossware is fucking garbage. I will accept anything.
Yes.
But it
Okay.
didn't happen.
Yeah, I think where I land on it is like I was saying before,
Yes.
I
So,
don't blame the voters for
all
the
right.
Democrats'
Short
failure.
and concise. Short and
Yes,
concise. You
I
think
blame leadership.
you blame leadership. Same as John
Yep.
Murphy. All right.
Yep.
So I just,
Okay.
I think we have a responsibility to
Oh
enforce.
no,
Yeah. Just like we're
we
trying to do
definitely
now.
do.
If
We
we didn't have a
definitely do.
responsibility, we wouldn't be trying to make change right now.
We each have a personal responsibility. I don't want to be blamed for my generation's fuck up because of my personal.
Yeah. They can come after, again, the next generation, they can come after me. I'm here right now trying to fix things.
Oh
This
yeah.
is
Oh,
me standing up for the next generation.
that's one of my favorite anarchist quotes, by the way. Is what do you dream? What do you dream? What is your dream for society? I dream of a society where I will be hung as a conservative, which I love. It's like I'd be so radical that the
There you
next
go.
generation is so radical that I'm fucking up.
Yep, I like it. I like it. All right. Next question. This is going to be about the CLC.
Okay.
Does the CLC, in your opinion, does the CLC prioritize table 2?
You know, I honestly think so. Both from a pragmatic approach, because again, they're not stupid. They know that table two, all the people listening to these podcasts and the bulk of the voting membership are table two. All the people who voted no on the TA in that historical vote, most of them are table two, so they know that. And then also, they're like like all the education Corey's doing, and like there wouldn't be a CCA corner if it wasn't for Corey, who's attached to the CLC. And like I think it's and I know it, me personally, my career organizing is going to always be looking out for the new jacks who just come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would I like more programs for the new jacks? Yes, but I think they're focusing on education, which, like we said earlier in the interview, like getting our new jacks who just come in to know their rights and know all this shit, like getting that infrastructure in place is super important. And um, yeah, because yeah, I think they're focus. I don't think they're focusing solely on table two, obviously, but I think a lot of what they're doing is very much empowering table two to fucking like get more. And
Yeah.
they understand that, and they see like that TA getting voted down. That was voted down by table two,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. Um, let's see. Rap session. No. Any thoughts on the rap session? It was just theater.
I didn't. I mean, again, it's a podium for a known liar. You're not listening to what he's saying. You're listening to what he's not saying. Like it's like
Not just
bullshit
that.
jazz. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What did Miles Davis say? It's not the notes he's playing, it's the notes he's not playing. And that's how you gotta fucking listen to that
Right.
bearded turnip.
Do you think the rap session, would you consider it campaigning?
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
everything he does is campaigning.
Yep.
Like I think I mean like we see that on national stage.
Correct.
Donald Trump loves campaigning. That's all he does.
The hash
And,
the
you know
hashtag
what I
does
mean?
not exist for
And
them.
yeah, and I think that sort of set the tone. Is just everything is a campaign. Everything's stumping. Everything's a campaign stuff.
100%.
When he was in uh, at the Texas State Convention, Renfro showed up and he talked like for hours.
He always does. Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, to the point where there were old timers at my table falling asleep,
Yep.
and like I heard snoring, and 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 all it was, it was the same hits all over again. It was like reciting the postal record from heart. Um, yeah.
So, yes, you consider it campaigning. Do you consider give me your thoughts real quick on the brand Fight Like Hell. I
Oh,
consider it, right. I consider it Brian Renfro's brand, right? He's branded it. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when he's handing out t-shirts, it's the same kind of same concept as him hijacking a rally, right? He's putting out his
Yeah.
brand on you. Is That's his campaign. So when you put on his t-shirt, now you're campaigning for him.
Yeah, I mean, like I I feel like that last part might be a bit of a stretch. It's definitely for him. It's definitely again, it's theater. It's theater.
Exactly.
That came out. That came out on the 23rd of March, and that was to co-opt the energy from the reform movement and all the work that building the fighting ALC and the CLC were doing and shit. And like and Carrick was working on doing like it was clearly meant to just go off and undercut.
Yep.
Me personally, I'm not gonna
Your
fucking start
microphone.
shaming someone wearing a Fight Like Hell shirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll my eyes in the same way that like I mean
Your
we're about the
microphone
same
got a little
age.
squirrely.
So
Your microphone got a little squirrely. That's
oh,
all.
shit. Hold on.
Nope. No, you're good now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
weird.
it's still rough.
That's better.
You're coming through real rough. Hold on.
Hello?
Do I need to step out and step back in?
I have no idea.
I might,
Let's pause
you're
again.
coming
We'll
through
do a
real choppy.
technology. Another pause.
I don't remember where we were.
I was asking, if you consider wearing a t-shirt a form of campaigning, and you said you don't. You're not going to go that far. That's
I
all.
mean, I'm not gonna. If someone wants to put on a fucking, if they, I mean, half the fun of going to these branch meetings and stuff like that, whether it's a family reunion or a union picnic, is getting swag.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look down on someone wearing a Fight Like Hell shirt. Am I
So
gonna roll my eyes and wear my Fight Like? No, I'll wear my Letter Care political fun shirt,
yeah.
and that's corny enough for me. I'll wear that.
All
I'm
right.
not gonna wear my Fight Like Hell shirt, but I'm also not gonna judge someone wearing a Fight Like Hell shirt. But
So
again, it's
if in
theater.
on that topic, you're talking about Fight Like Hell shirts. What if you switch it up and you're like a CLC shirt? What if all these guys that we are paying to be at a union event, we're paying for them to be there, and they're essentially campaigning by wearing T-shirts that say, CLC 2026 or Bill Kriebel 2026. Do you consider that campaigning? And do you consider it campaigning on our dime?
I mean, it's clearly campaigning. They're campaigning.
Okay.
That's what a CLC 2026 shirt is. I don't know. I don't know how you can frame it as anything other than campaigning. I
Okay.
feel like if you ask them, we're like, "Hey, can I get one of those shirts? Which shirt? The campaign shirt? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
you. You know what
All
I
right.
mean? Like,
And
but
how do you
on
feel about
our
them campaign?
dime,
Go ahead.
how do you mean on our dime?
We're paying, this is an event I mean, we're paying them to be there. They're on the clock, right?
Wait, which? Okay,
Let's talk
hold
about
on.
the rap session.
Oh, the rap session.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, if their job is to be there at the rap session
Hmm.
and they're showing up wearing a CLC 2026 shirt,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's campaigning. But like, are they doing their job by being there and bringing what's their job by being there? Is to be bringing word back to their membership, right?
Theoretically, yes.
Yes. So as long as they're doing that, if they're wearing a fucking t-shirt, I guess it's no skin off my nose.
All right. I like that answer.
If they're not going into like these fucking conventions and shit, there's people that'll they get the branch to pay for them to go to the convention. They'll go in the first day and then they'll go in the one day that
Yeah. Yep.
their favorite speaker is there. Otherwise, they're hanging out at the bar and
Correct.
they're fucking sleeping in the hotel room and they're not actually fucking there.
Yep.
That shit happens all the time.
I'm
That's
sure.
fucking horse shit. but if they, you know what I mean? Like, and that's if someone's going to be there, be engaged and talking to people,
And
even if they're
whatever.
fucking
They can,
campaigning, it
yeah.
doesn't bother me that much.
All right.
You know what I
Sounds
mean?
good. Yep. I'm gonna run some local branch amendments past you, some
Okay.
bylaw ideas. Tell me what you think. Um, Zoom meetings. In your branch, do you have Zoom meetings? Are you opposed to Zoom meetings?
No, we don't have them in my branch,
Yeah.
but I am trying to get that resolution passed shortly because
Ditto.
we have an attendance issue at my branch. We got 1,200 members,
Yeah.
and we can't make quorum of 25, which is if you want to do the math real quick, around just around 2% of the membership can't get in the meetings.
Point two.
Dog
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, yeah, absolute
Yeah.
dog shit.
That's terrible.
But yeah, because the
Oh,
thing
2%.
is,
Yeah.
if you're in a big city, like our branch meetings are on the north end of the city. Getting off at 5, you get off work, you got to
Yeah.
drive cross town traffic, 45 minutes to get to the branch meeting.
Same.
If you're on the overtime list or you're a CCA or PTF, you're not making those meetings
Yeah.
because sometimes the meetings happen, they're done in 45 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't know how many
So,
AOs you guys have associated with your branch, but we have branches that are over 100 miles away from our union hall, or
oh,
where we
that's
actually
wild.
where we hold the meetings. So the idea of having someone drive 100 over 100 miles to come to a meeting, that's unlikely to happen, right?
It's
It's
undemocratic as fuck.
yeah, it's
That
a
person
it's
does
a
not
form
have
of
a voice in their
disenfranchisement.
branch meetings.
It's forced
Yeah, that's
enfranchisement, like a
exactly.
forced inability to participate.
Yep. Yeah, that's it's prohibitive. Yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
that's just prohibitive. Yeah,
So
no.
we don't have our bylaws. My branch, 210 bylaws, does not prohibit Zoom meetings. It would not conflict. So I brought up a motion to add Zoom meetings at a one of our meetings, and both the retired president and the current president stood up and lied to the membership and said it would take an amendment to our bylaws. It would
Okay.
not. It was not in. It's not in conflict with our bylaws. We've done Zoom meetings before. We did not amend the bylaws back then. It has
Okay.
no conflict. Um, so yeah, I'm all for Zoom meetings. I think it
I mean,
opens up.
like, could you I guess I would get with my secretary or your parliamentarian. I don't know if that's Sergeant of Arms down there. But I would get with them and be like, hey, what bylaw is this conflicting with? Put them on the spot with it. And if they
Yes.
can't come up with one, be like, okay, well, this is a bylaw change I want to make.
Yeah.
So then you're codifying that into the bylaws. That way they
Yeah.
can't say
We
it's
can't change the
conflicting.
bylaws that easy. And our bylaw change amendment process is a little bit longer, but it doesn't require a bylaw change. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
you can make a motion and
Yeah,
have
it
it pass.
shouldn't have to.
Yeah. But it was unfortunate. They just, it's
Yeah.
when our branch is very concentrated in its power. Well, again, I think we have we have like 1,500 active and retired members, and there's probably like 18 people at our meetings. So, less than 1% most of the time.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah. It's
yeah,
it's dog shit. That's
yeah.
yeah.
The the president and vice president, everyone pretty much always agrees that they've tried everything to get people to the meeting. So they always say that, well, I've done everything I could possibly do, right? I've offered to buy them drinks, offered to buy them food. I just
I've done
I
everything.
can't get people to show up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, here's a way to get people to show up, bitch. Why are you stopping them?
exactly. All right. So the next one on that concept of they're always complaining that they can't get people to show up. This is kind of an idea to force a more democratic approach to the union. It would be like 5% uh, of the membership has to show up in order to form a quorum. Like now I'm kind of forcing their hand. They have to either fill the seats and allow democracy to play out, or it's not a quorum. Period.
Oh, so yeah. So okay. So that's another way to approach it. I mean, I can't really like. I mean, ideally, ideally, at least half of your membership shows up, but that's not possible in some places, right? And that's
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, down here in Fort Worth, branch 226, we got, just under 1,200 members. If 50% of the membership showed up, we'd be having to like rent out huge
Absolutely.
joint.
I think that'd be
Um,
great.
oh yeah, oh no, that's awesome. But like also, it's absolutely on the opposite side, and the side I'm dealing with down here. We
Oh,
got
same.
we had to reduce the quorum to 20 people
Yeah.
because it just went from 25 to 20 because we couldn't make quorum
I
3 out of the last 12 months
I
of
hate that
25.
idea.
Yeah, I hated it. I voted against it. I hated it. And so if you're trying to increase quorum to try to push them to get more people in, if they're being honest and they're out of ideas, well, we're trying to get people in here and we can't get them in. Like they're not going to be able to meet that fucking quorum. So I guess it's kind of like how well like how sincere do you find their efforts to get people into the meetings? You know what I mean?
Um,
Like
low.
there you go.
I'm
If
cynical.
they're not gonna if you get a vote passed to raise the quorum, but they have no incentive to increase the membership there, you're gonna be stuck in this part because like I'm sorry, if you don't want to have to deal with meetings and you don't want to have to do this shit and you're anti-democratic anyway, you don't want meetings, so it actually benefits you if you're a piece of shit to
Yeah.
not make quorum
Yeah.
or to
But
have
you
quorum
also
be as small as possible.
but you also can't pay the bills. You can't do anything without a quorum.
Yeah.
So you're
But
stuck. It's not just the fact that you can go down to like it's not like you're not free of your job. You still have to have those
yeah.
meetings. You still have to pay the bills. This is forcing
Yes.
you. You need a quorum. This is forcing you to somehow include the membership more. If you can only get like 0.5% of your membership to the branch, you're doing something wrong.
Oh no,
Period.
exactly. It's shameful.
So we're going to
But
force you to do
I
something right.
think yeah, I think raising the quorum to a point where they got to actually get off their ass. I think you're just trying to play chicken with them.
Hmm.
I think it's a better strategy to try to figure out how to get Zoom meetings.
Hmm.
And then you can show up on fucking Amazon Sundays if you got those in your area, and you get CCAs in on those fucking Zoom calls. You can talk to the people who they don't want to drive all the way fuck across town or drive fucking hour and a half or however fucking long. They
Yep.
can like I joined our CLC, the Central Labor Council for the AFL-CIO. They do Zoom meetings, and half the time I'm still out on my route, and
Yeah.
I pop in on that Zoom meeting with my phone in my pocket, listen in my shirt pocket, listening to what's going on in a meeting. I
Yep.
can still participate
Yep.
without without having to physically be there, and that helps anyone who's a parent or you just got off a long ass shift, you just want to make dinner, put on fucking The Simpsons and fuck off. Like,
Yes.
while I'm making dinner, I'm gonna sit in on this union meeting, and if a
Yep.
vote comes up, I can pull out my phone and fucking vote.
Yeah, it's like
You
voting.
know what I mean?
Anything that makes it more difficult, I'm anti.
Yeah. I think raising the quorum would make things more difficult for the membership than it would the leadership.
Really
I honestly think so.
interesting.
I think leadership fucking thrives when
I
when what like because what are they going to do? Like, oh, we can't make quorum, so we can't get anything done. Well, they want to get something done, so they're going to make fucking calls and then be able to just stack it anytime they want to actually pass something. But anytime you want to pass something, that's hard because you can't stack it. Does that make sense?
It does. I just, yeah. I mean, they also can't go on any trips if you can't pass, if you don't have a quorum to pay for the trips or pay for reimbursement. I can see
But see,
that.
that's where they bring in their ringers,
Yeah,
who you know what I mean? Because
that's fine.
they have the resources to
If
stack
they,
it if they need to make quorum for something they want to do.
yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it goes that way, and maybe you have more retirees show up at these things. I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah,
More members at the meeting. I'm all for it. Either way,
yeah.
that's
I'm just
okay.
saying. I think raising the quorum to try to force their hand into
Yeah,
involvement is playing chicken, and they got a lot more resources.
yeah. I guess
I feel
I don't
like
see a downside, right? Because if they wanted to do that, they can do that now with a lesser quorum. If they want to have something passed, They can bring in those ringers already. Like there's nothing stopping them from doing that now.
Yeah, but quorum, if you never make quorum, then the only time that they're going to make an effort to get people in there is when they want to pass something on their own agenda. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but a little bit of effort from them because it's self satisfying is better than no effort at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I just say like I would back I am 110% behind Zoom hybrid meetings. As
Okay.
far as the raising the quorum, ideally, in a perfect world, yes. The way these dirty pricks like to play shit, I am skeptical.
Okay. All right. A amendment to for every trip that you take as a, president, board, whatever, officers, every trip requires approval by the branch. As of right now, we already have, it's like um most meetings nationwide, like the president and vice president just have free reign. They're just always allowed to go,
Yeah.
no matter what. Some of those are apply to officers too. What do you think about making every trip require approval by the branch?
I think, honestly, like this is again democracy and branch involvement. I think any sort of rap session, convention, whatever, we need representation there.
Hmm.
And I feel like for me, rather than the branch needs to approve, I feel like we should just put that condition on somebody to say, hey, when you go to this shit, how many of these? I guarantee you, I'm going to go to my branch meeting in December after this rap session, and I won't even know during this meeting whether or not my president went to the rap session.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I was
there's not going to be any report. And if there's a report, it's going to be 2 or 3 words, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. So we just want to get out of it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, that's not cool. I think rather than saying we need to approve all of this shit, it's like, no, you're going to go to all this shit, but we need a 2 minute, we need you to spend 2 entire minutes reporting to us on what happened.
Yeah.
Right? You remember we all went to we all had fucking eighth grade English where you had to write a 4 paragraph fucking paper. you know,
Yep.
we've all had to do essay questions on a test in high
Yeah.
school. Like, hey, this is not enough words. This is supposed to be a 600-word answer, and
Hmm.
you're only giving me 8 words. No, I want a 600-word answer. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
Something like
found,
that, making it more
unfortunately,
conditional.
yeah.
I
I
want
like our
we
branch.
want a report, an in-depth report.
Yeah. We have, that's the thing. Our branch doesn't have a bylaw that requires this, as far as I know. We don't require a report. We don't require a speech or anything.
That would be what I
Um,
would focus on.
but they usually, I mean, they give a speech anyways, but I have yet to find anything useful in those speeches, right? It's generally uh parroting Renfro, and that's it.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. Yeah, if I wanted to hear Renfro, I'd go listen to the podcast. If I wanted to hear that the post office was losing
yeah,
billions of dollars, I could go on Google.
yeah.
Like I
Well,
don't
see,
think the
here's
membership,
well,
even with the reports, the membership isn't gaining anything from that, as far as in my
well, see,
opinion.
maybe you okay. Well, we're talking about like conditions on the reports because I know some branches they do have it's conditional on report. You've heard Alan Giga talk about that shit where
Hmm.
like no, there's
Yes,
supposed to be
that they
membership
didn't
is
do anyways, but yes,
gets a
yeah.
debrief. No, exactly. But like membership gets a debrief if it's requested by the membership, like something like that. But also like maybe tack on something where there's a question and answer section where it's
Hmm.
like you're gonna report back, and then also you better as fuck be ready to answer some questions.
Yep.
Now
Gosh, I
people are
hate
gonna pencil whip that shit, and
I
they're
hate
gonna
to
like,
say anything positive about Brian Renfro's podcast, obviously. I think the second I think it was the second recap on the rap session. There's one, I think it was the second. There's one lady in there who says she's a branch president. She's like they ask her how she's going to communicate it with the rest of her branch, the what she learned at the rap session. And she's like, I'm gonna go back and I'm thinking I'm gonna have a round table and like we're just gonna discuss. everything that happened at the rap session. I was like,
That's a
that's,
brilliant
I
idea.
mean, that's awesome. And then she's like, but she follows it up with like, and I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to hear what they have to say. And I'm going to bring that back to like, bring it back to national. I was like, well, I mean, that's great.
That's
I
that's
love that,
that's
but
that's
it's a
very
little
that's
late.
very it's a little naive. It's a little no, I love where she's coming from. I
100%.
have no notes. No notes.
Yep.
I hope she's ready when she brings it back to national for it to
Yeah.
fall on deaf ears.
That's the
But
problem, right?
hey,
That should have happened before the rap session.
I'm never going to try to discourage someone's optimism.
Mhm.
And like she sounds brilliant. That's an amazing idea. I
Yep.
love this woman. I don't even know who the fuck she is. And I hope she keeps that optimism. And I
I hope
hope
so too.
yeah, because that's the thing. When you see that optimism, us as leaders, even if we're not in a position, when you see that optimism, encourage that shit
Yep.
and make sure make sure to be supportive when that optimism fucking crashes and burns sometimes. And sometimes it will,
True.
right? We
Yep.
don't know. I know. A lot of us are we're cynics and shit, but like we got we gotta keep people safe who are not cynics yet.
100%. Yes. Yep. All right. Next one. Every office, not branch, but every office should have an elected steward.
Yep. No,
Okay.
fully agree. That's one
Cool.
thing. I know Murphy was trying to change bylaws or something in his
Yep.
branch out there in Naples. And like Mike, I'm not going to talk shit on my branch, but we got a lot of problems out here. But one of the problems we don't have is we do elect stewards.
Yep.
Like if my
So,
branch just fucking like were appointed stewards, oh God, it would be
mhm.
just such a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
But like we do have elections,
Yep. So
and
I guess
that's
that's, yeah, this was like a two-part question. I guess A, we should have elected stewards, but we should also have a steward in every single office.
oh yeah, no. That's very much I fully fucking believe in that.
Okay.
And then also like if no one wants to step up to run for steward in an office, this
Hmm.
is how you do this shit. You got a CCA just came in.
Hmm.
Okay, well, hey, I'm appointing you as the steward of this station. Um, like it's not your station, you're at a whatever, but you're gonna have to travel over there when they put in the steward slip. Okay, cool. I need you to get an alternate in that station.
Hmm.
Okay, no one wants to step up. That fucking CCA, fresh 91st day. Hey, I'm making you an alternate steward. I'm going to teach you the ropes. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Does that
Yep.
make sense? Then
Absolutely.
like even if you don't have a steward in that station, you got a second set of eyes, and you got someone that you can bring up under your wing.
Yeah.
Even if you're an appointed steward, right? No one wants to step up there. Well, that young kid coming in who's getting bullied by management, who needs the mentorship program that we're supposed to have, like,
Yeah.
what's a better mentorship than having an experienced steward
Yeah.
covering for that station to
And
take
it's
that kid
like,
under his wing and be like, hey, come on, you're my apprentice. I'll be your
absolutely.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. It's also like forced education. Like, these are the things you're going to need to know protect yourself, and you're
Yeah,
kind of going to have to learn them because you're the steward now, or you're the alternate now.
that's
So,
the mentorship program we should have.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, every time,
Here,
yeah, every
uh,
CCA spends like 6 months as the steward. I like it.
yeah. Just like steward's assistant, you spend a little bit of time as an alternate.
Yep.
Like, hey, this is going to apply to you as a CCA. We're going to talk about work hour limits and hold downs and all this other stuff. Once you get that shit down, then we can talk about overtime lists, which isn't going to apply to your regular, but let's get down the stuff that applies to you specifically. That way, every new cat who comes in, they automatically know how to take care of themselves and other CCAs.
Yep.
And also, even if you don't get a steward in that station, you got a second set of eyes for the traveling steward. I don't know if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I like that. Um, Last one here. President or vice president should be in the office on Saturdays. Or, you can even add Sundays if you want. When carriers work, when rank and file members work, there should be someone, a full-time officer in the branch.
Oh, you mean like in the office?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
Not like your work office, like in the union hall.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like we
think uh I
we run
think
into
the wait, go ahead.
I've run into questions on Saturdays more often than not, right? Saturday is actually the day where management's like, watch this, I can fuck with all the carriers because I
Yep.
know the union, the president and vice president aren't there today, right? They're not working
Yeah.
today because
Yeah.
that's just a benefit of being president or vice president. You get
Yeah.
Saturdays off.
Yeah, I think so that one I think this is kind of again one of the problems with like I was talking about with the NERP. In some areas it's going to be brilliant. In other areas it's going to be dog shit.
Hmm.
Like I know my steward Rodney, I love that man. Like we don't agree on everything, but the dude's dope. And I know that I can call him on Sunday as a CCA work like when I was working Amazon Sunday, I could call him if he didn't answer, he would send me a text message, show me I'll call you back in a minute. And he'd call me.
Hmm.
He made space for that, right? My branch president, whatever. But I feel for me, it's not having office hours at the hall
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to call the hall. I'm trying to call my steward or my president.
Yeah.
And that's part of, I mean, I don't know what presidents in your neck of the woods make, but like my branch president makes, I think 92 or 93,000 a year base.
Yeah.
And then with whatever, that's a good amount of money. And you took a position, so you should be on call all the time, even if it's not official.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
That's
problem
kind of my attitude.
yeah.
Because I'm honestly the only time I'm calling the hall is if I want to make sure someone's there so I can drop by, or so I can send one of my CCAs over there to get some of the, hand-me-down uniforms.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to talk to the hall. I'm going to talk directly to my steward or my president.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. The problem with that is like I'm just the I don't know. I don't know the word for someone like me. Um, I have a sense of guilt if I am calling someone's personal phone, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whether or not like sure, they should be on the clock all the time because carriers work all the time. But it puts that like guilt on me, and I assume there are people like me who also feel that slight
Oh
sense
yeah,
of
yeah.
guilt by
Oh no,
calling the
that's
president sent like home phone or whatever.
yeah.
I
I've
don't want them to
definitely
feel that guilt, so they should just be in the
yeah,
office.
yeah. And I think that's also I think that that burden can be shared with, like we were talking about, getting an alternate in the office if you can get a steward in the office, and then also like our mentorship program. That's part of what a mentor's supposed to be.
Hmm.
Because like I have definitely been that person for a lot of the carriers in like CCAs and wherever in my office. They don't want to bother Rodney, so they run shit by me first,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, okay, that's bullshit. This is a grievance. You can file on this. But to be sure, let's talk to Rodney because he's your steward, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, so it's something where I, I feel like it is a hesitant. It is something where carriers will hesitate to do it. But honestly, I don't. And this might just be down here in my experience down here. I don't know any carriers who give a fuck about calling the office because they know they're just going to get a machine or get a secretary who
Yeah.
will tell the president to call them back when they have the time. They
Okay, so
all
it's not
just,
just me.
yeah, it's not just you.
I thought they blocked my number. Like they saw my name pop up every time I called, and they're like, we're not answering that.
Oh yeah, no. It's it's also sometimes like, yeah, I don't know. It's something where like they are again, like in some of the conversations we're having, you got to force these people to do their jobs sometimes, and
Yep.
that's not a dig at them. I'm not gonna lie. If I had my own place and I had a house with a lawn, I'm not gonna mow the fucking lawn until the neighbors complain because I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Like that's
Okay.
not a priority for me. I have no problem mowing the lawn, but like it's just not something I'm going to think about until someone says something. And
Hmm.
like when you're a president or a steward for multiple branches or not branches but multiple stations or whatever, you got a lot of different irons and a lot of different fires.
Hmm. Okay.
It's your job to get bothered.
Yep.
So like to me, that's just a thing where it's like, I'm not gonna think about something until someone tells me about it, because that's you're spinning all these different plates on pool cues. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
Yep.
that's something where it's your job to get bothered by people. And if that pisses you off, shut the fuck up. And you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't know
All
if that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah. Last one. This is a random one. Came to me the other day. I know
Okay.
you're a big supporter of organizing Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. So you're also a big supporter of the working class.
Oh yeah.
Just the work Amazon is bad for the working class, right? Like the low wage jobs,
The
non-creative.
company? Yeah.
Uh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said the company? Yes, very much
Yes.
so.
Yeah, the company.
Yeah.
Bad for working class. It's forced the working class to I don't know. We've been kind of hoodwinked. We've chosen convenience over the long-term benefit to the working class, right? They
Yeah, and,
allow,
and in some cases we've been forced to choose that convenience.
yeah.
Um, yeah, like I don't know about you, but there was times when I was a CCA, forced to work overtime 65 hours a week.
Hmm.
And it was either I'm eating out every night or I'm getting groceries to cook, but I don't really have time to go grocery shopping and cook. I don't have any energy because I'm just worked 16 days without a day off, working 12 hours a day type
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yep.
I used Instacart. I spent so much more money on my fucking groceries, but you know what? You know what? That saved me an hour and a half
Yeah.
after work. I
Yep.
was able to shower, and I was able to start my laundry, and I was
Yeah.
able to actually like fucking like decompress one day out of fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I
Makes sense.
had but Instacart's owned
You're
by
forced
fucking
into two bad
Amazon.
options.
Yeah, you're forced into fucking McDonald's
Yep.
or Starbucks in the morning or fucking Instacart. If you want to watch a fucking movie, you got to fucking like,
Yeah.
dude, it's trash.
All
We're
right.
forced into having to do these fucking dog shit things. So we
So
need to support the workers who
keep you on
make
task
those.
here.
Sorry.
You're fine. So organizing Amazon, big importance. Amazon's bad for the working class. This idea is NALC, and I know Mike Cariff talks about as the NALC, we should be helping Amazon organize. We should be
Yeah,
helping Amazon form unions and whatnot.
yeah,
This idea is as the NALC, we pick a fight with Amazon,
yeah,
which I don't know that that's a good idea. But if the NALC told all 200,000 members, which is I know a drop in the bucket for Amazon, but whatever, told all 200,000 members, and then we talked to the AFL-CIO and we're like, hey, you also need to tell all of your members, um, drop until Amazon is organized and unionized, or at least every single warehouse has a vote. Drop your subscriptions.
yeah. Okay. I
Uh,
think I believe that would be effective. Do I think all our members would fucking do that? No.
no,
But I
obviously
do
not.
believe it would if nothing else, it's effective as a shot across the bow.
Hmm.
Me personally, what I think is more effective is if we had actual union organizers at a national level who knew how to organize a new shop,
Yep. Go to
who
those
would
warehouses.
who would go who would talk to people, work with the AFL-CIO, the Teamsters, work with whatever, and be like, hey, we're because we can't do job actions legally,
Yep.
right?
Correct.
We can tell our members not to buy Amazon, but how is that going to work? I mean, that will be effective to an extent, right?
Hmm.
But it's not going to be as effective as if we had actual organizers in our union at a national level who could work with the AFL-CIO, work with the Teamsters to say, hey, this this warehouse
Hmm.
in this end of the country is trying to unionize, and they got all this union busting shit. I'll tell you what, we're gonna have our branches in that area. We're gonna get all the retirees together, and they're gonna go out and join the picket line. That all the people in that area, all the letter carriers we have in that area, we're gonna show up to join that picket line, and we're gonna have our labor lawyers who help us with this labor shit. We're gonna have them work with y'all's labor lawyers so you can try and get a good contract. That's a union helping a union be born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
way more effective than, hey guys, don't spend money on Amazon. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not saying that that's not effective, but what would
Hmm.
be more effective is we have this giant war chest. We have all this fucking money. We're not doing dog shit with it, aside from greasing the palms of greasy fucking politicians. When we
Yeah.
could, which that's important. You got to do that shit. I get that. These are the waters we're swimming
That's
in. We
that's
got
a
to do
that's a
that.
conversation for another time. I'm fully against that, but
Yeah, oh
that's
yeah,
a
no,
different
no,
conversation.
no. I respect all viewpoints on that because I'm very much against it, but also yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
If
yeah,
you want to swim, if you want to play the same game we've been playing, you're gonna get the same results we've been getting as a working class.
yeah.
Like
I mean, like I
you
give
can't fight billionaires on a funding
yeah,
race.
no, no.
That's not gonna happen.
I agree with you. I give I think $5 a check to the letter
That's
carrier political fund.
yeah, that's gonna be
Uh,
another conversation too. I am against the LCPF.
okay, okay, all right. Yeah, we can talk about that later. What I'm talking about is like if we want to boycott campaigns are effective. But
Yes.
what would be more effective is we use this big war chest and our big swinging dick of having the most, they say the most involved membership. That's not true. We don't have the most involved
No,
membership.
we just
We
have the
just
most
have the most dues
dues
paying
paying.
membership.
Correct. Yep.
If we throw some of those dues into showing up on the street level and backing the play of Starbucks employees or Amazon employees or whatever, A, we take a leadership role at a national level
Hmm.
in the labor movement. Like we could, we have the resources for it. We just don't have the leadership. And like, it would be so amazing for both the labor movement, Amazon, and also the NALC.
Yep.
And then we could walk into one of these contract negotiations as the big fucking dude. Because at this point, it's like, oh, we got a lot of money, we got a giant membership, but we're toothless and
Yes.
we just tip over. And
But
if
also,
we,
yeah,
and like,
we don't use the membership the way we should be
we,
using it, but that's fine.
yeah, and it's like you got some people are like, oh, we need the right to strike. We need the right to strike. It's like, bitch, there's so much more we could do that's not striking. And also, a right isn't given. A right is inherent.
Yeah.
We all have the right to fucking strike. We're just
Exactly.
not allowed to.
Yeah. Well,
So
we have the
stop
right to
talking
strike.
about asking permission for it and
Yeah.
start like building the capacity to do it if that's something you're about.
Yeah. We have
Like,
the right to strike, but there's just going to be some harsh consequences. That's all.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And like there's so much more our union could do to be a powerful fucking player in the labor movement and on the national stage for ourselves and our fellow workers, and we're just not fucking doing it.
Yep.
Boycotting Amazon and calling for the membership to boycott Amazon, I'm all for it. I think it would be effective. I don't think it would be half as effective as if we threw our weight behind
Yeah.
unionizing shops.
Yeah. I don't have a problem doing both. So,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's all, dude, bro. I think that's my biggest bitch with people in the reform movement and like some of my friends in the reform movement, like fucking some folk in the CLC and the BFN, and like some other people's like we keep talking about these things as a binary, either or. Why not fucking both?
mhm.
It's the answer could be both so easily.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. That was a very, very long interview.
Oh, sorry,
I was
bro.
expecting like 30 minutes. It's been at almost 2 hours. I'm not, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what to do with this. So,
Yeah, yeah. You do whatever you gotta do, baby. I'm not used to being interviewed,
yeah.
I mean, like you could have asked Murphy. He just told you I'm the biggest mouth in the NALC. I'll just talk and talk and talk if you let me.
Yeah, now I know.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
Now I know. No, it's fine. Uh, any shout outs you want to give before we sign off here?
Yeah, I think just fucking go to Build a Fighting NALC's website, find the survey, fill that shit out. Um, if you got your NBA's email or your branch president's email, ask them if they filled it out. Spread that shit around. Whether you're voting, regardless of what your fucking politics are, pay attention. And regardless of how you think things should move in this union, just take care of each other. Look out for people.
Mhm.
Also, it's fucking dark and depressing out right now. If you got a coworker who's normally loud and happy and they're quiet, check in on them, please. I don't
All
know.
right.
That's all I got.
All right. I like it. I'm sure you'll be on again at some point. We'll try and stay more on task next time and uh cut it short.
I gotta write out an outline, otherwise I get all over the place. Sorry.
Not a problem. First interview for me. I gotta, I'm a work in progress. It'll be
Yeah,
what it
I think
is.
you're starting on hard mode, baby.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I should have started with like Alan Gigax. I think he would
Oh,
have been
dude,
like, he would have answered the
he's
question
sharp and he's
and then be like,
yeah he's
yes, on to the next. I
yeah
don't know.
he's sharp and he stays on task. Alan
Yes.
Gigax is that man's brilliant. I've interviewed him and yeah, I think he was one of the first interviews we did on the CCA corner. Yeah,
Oh,
no, on
nice.
point. Yeah,
I think I
no,
missed that one.
he would have been a good first choice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mistakes were made. No. All right. Well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving.
yeah,
Um, hit me up if I can help you with anything, let me know. And again, I have no idea what to do with this. I think it's like a 2 hour recording. I might just be a standalone. I don't know. I don't know what to
yeah,
label it. I got nothing.
yeah.
But thank
Yeah,
you for
good luck,
coming
bud.
on. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming
yeah.
on. And I hope you have a good Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, you too.
All
All right,
right. Thank you.
appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Have a good one.
Adios.